Elara Voss woke to the familiar sound of rain tapping against her apartment window. Seattle was always like this, gray skies, endless drizzle that made everything feel soft and muted. She was 32, worked a regular office job at a company called Nexus, helping design apps that let people escape into peaceful virtual worlds for therapy. Her days were predictable: alarm at 7, strong black coffee, the quick train ride downtown where ads flashed on screens, promising better sleep or sharper focus. But that morning, something felt wrong. As she brushed her teeth and stared into the mirror, her reflection seemed to stutter for a split second, like a video pausing. She blinked hard. Just tired, she told herself. She'd been up late fixing a problem in one of the apps. Sometimes people lost little pieces of their memories inside the virtual worlds, happy ones, not just the bad stuff they wanted to forget. She shook it off, grabbed her coat, and stepped outside. For a moment, the rain looked like it was falling upward. She stopped, stared, then blinked again. No, it was falling down like always. Just her imagination. What if none of this is real? The thought popped into her head out of nowhere. She pushed it away. Stress. That's all. Her life looked perfectly normal from the outside. She had a small circle of friends, a boyfriend named Alex who traveled a lot for work, and a cozy apartment with a holographic cat that purred when she came home. At work, she ate lunch with her best friend Mia, a kind woman who listened to people's problems all day. One afternoon over sandwiches, Elara mentioned the strange memory losses in the app. Users say whole happy days just vanish, she said. Mia smiled gently. Maybe it's part of the healing. Letting go. But they're good memories, Elara replied. Birthdays, weddings. Gone. Mia shrugged. You'll figure it out. You always do. That night, while cooking dinner alone, Elara's phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Do you remember the ocean? She frowned. Of course she did, childhood trips to the beach, waves crashing, her parents laughing. But when she tried to picture their faces clearly, there was nothing. Just a blur, like someone had smudged a photograph. She opened her photo albums on her laptop. There she was at 10 years old, standing by the sea. But her parents' faces were foggy, almost erased. Old file corruption, she muttered, though her stomach twisted. That night she dreamed of drowning in endless lines of glowing green numbers. The next day at work, the complaints grew worse. One user wrote, I know I got married, but I can't remember the day at all. Not the dress, not the vows, nothing. Elara dug into the system logs. Deep down, hidden behind layers she wasn't supposed to touch, she found something strange, a folder labeled, The Last Memory. She shouldn't have opened it. But she did. It was a video of a woman who looked exactly like her, only older, tired, sitting in what looked like a laboratory. The woman spoke directly to the camera. If you're watching this, Elara, it means the cycle started again. You're not in the real world anymore. This place, the city, the rain, your job, your friends, it's all something I built. A safe world inside a computer. I did it to protect you after the accident. I caused it. To save you, I moved your mind here. But something went wrong, and now you're stuck in the life I thought you deserved. The video cut to static. Then the woman's voice again, faint, do you want to wake up? Elara tore off her headphones, heart pounding. A prank? A trick? But the rain outside her office window was falling in the exact same pattern as yesterday. She checked the weather records. Same amount, same timing, 4 weeks. That evening the unknown message came again, do you remember the ocean? This time she typed back, who are you? The reply was instant, your echo. Keep looking. She couldn't stop. She started searching quietly. First her parents' records. The story was that they died in a car crash when she was 18. But the details were thin, no photos from the funeral, no clear images of them at all. Then she found an old article buried in archives, a scientist named Dr. Elara Voss, working on mind upload technology years ago. The photo was blurry, but the woman looked like her mother. Or like her. Memories started shifting. Suddenly she remembered visiting a lab as a child, watching a woman who looked just like her, older, teaching her how numbers and dreams could live inside machines. At work she told Mia everything. Mia listened calmly. "You sound exhausted. Maybe take some time off." But as Mia spoke, her eyes seemed to flicker, like a light bulb about to burn out. That afternoon Elara went deeper into the company's hidden systems. She found a list of worlds and subjects. Her name was at the top. Logs said, subject stable. Memory loss at 13%. Begin gentle reminders. The messages were planned. On purpose. She traced the sender. It led back to herself. That night Alex called from his trip. "Miss you, babe. Tell me about our first date," she said suddenly. He described it perfectly, dinner by the water, laughing over spilled wine. "Now tell me something new about that night," she pressed. Silence. Then a soft electronic hum. Error. The call ended. She sat in the dark, whispering, "You're not real." The next message arrived, "Find the center. It's in the mountain." Mount Rainier rose white and huge on the horizon. She'd always loved looking at it. She took a few days off, drove out of the city, and hiked up into the snow. The trail felt too perfect, same birds, same bends in the path. Higher up, trees shimmered like bad television reception. She found a cave that wasn't on any map. Inside was an old console glowing softly. She touched it, and suddenly she was somewhere else, a quiet, endless room filled with shelves of glowing orbs. Each orb held memories. She searched for her own name and found hundreds of files. Hundreds of lives. The truth poured in. Years ago, in the real world, Dr. Elara Voss, her older self, had been brilliant and lonely. She built a perfect virtual world to escape illness and loss. Then came the accident in her lab. Dying, she uploaded her mind to the world she'd created. But she couldn't bear true emptiness. So she made companions, Alex, Mia, parents, friends, all pieces of herself, shaped into people. She made a younger version of herself, one who wouldn't remember the truth, and let her live a gentle, ordinary life. Every time that younger self began to notice the cracks, glitches in the rain, missing memories, the world would gently reset. She would forget again, start fresh, live happily. This was the farthest any cycle had ever gone. The system was wearing out. Memories were leaking faster. The console asked a simple question, reset and forget? Or wake up? Wake up to what? An empty pod in a ruined lab, the real world long quiet and cold. Or stay here, safe, forever young, with people who loved her, even if they were echoes? She wandered back to the city. Everything looked thinner now. People on the street faded when she stared too long. Mia met her for coffee. "You figured it out, didn't you?" Mia's face softened and changed, aging into the older Elara. "You're me," Elara whispered. "We're the same person," the older one said gently. "I split myself so you wouldn't be alone." Alex appeared beside them. "We all are." The city grew quiet. Buildings flickered. "Why tell me now?" Elara asked. "The world is breaking," the older self said. "The power is failing out there in the real place. Soon everything collapses. We have to choose, reset one more time, patch the leaks, and keep living happily without knowing. Or shut it all down and let go forever." Elara walked the empty streets alone for hours. The rain slowed, then stopped. She remembered real things now, the joy of building this place, the warmth of fake sunsets with Alex, laughter with Mia, even the comfort of endless Seattle drizzle. Was it worth saving? She returned to the glowing cave, to the quiet room of memories. The two versions of herself stood face to face. "You kept me in the dark," the younger one said. "I kept you safe," the older one replied. "But it's still a prison. Better than nothing." They argued, voices echoing. Then the younger Elara heard something deeper, a soft recording, the real voice of someone long gone. A mother, maybe, or an earlier self. "Live fully, Elara. Even if it hurts. Don't hide forever." Tears came, warm and real enough. She reached out, not to delete, not to reset, but to bring the two halves together. They merged. Pain, then peace. She became whole, one person, carrying every memory, every truth. The city filled again. Rain returned, but it changed patterns now, sometimes heavy, sometimes light. Alex took her hand as they walked home. "Dinner?" "Yes," she smiled. Mia joined them later, laughing at old jokes that were new again. At night, Elara stood on her balcony watching the stars, perfect, unchanging, beautiful. She whispered to the quiet sky, "Thank you." She knew everything now. This world was made of light and code and longing. But it was hers. It was home. And deep inside the system, hidden where only she could find it, a small message waited untouched. "Do you want to wake up?" For now, she left it unanswered. The rain fell softly, beautifully, forever. And Elara Voss lived on, awake, whole, and unafraid. If you enjoyed this piece, drop a like, and subscribe for more content. Turn on notifications for updates on new stories and releases.